Do you love making your home feel cozy for the holidays? Today I'm sharing an easy DIY faux caramel apples. They're budget friendly, look delicious, and add the perfect touch to your fall decor. Let's get started. So what you need are some faux apples. Mine are plastic. You need some popsicle sticks and a paintbrush and some acrylic paint and Mod Podge. I will put a link to these items in the description below, but you can get them at your local Walmart, or I got those apples at the Goodwill bins. You'll also need a little bowl, and we're going to go ahead and remove that stem, and I'm just using some pliers to pull that on out. And then I'm just using the end of those pliers to make a hole inside the apple where I can insert that popsicle stick. I love that as a handle. And now let's get on to the caramel. I'm using the acrylic paint in a tannish color. It says that it is caramel colored. And I'm going to mix 50% of paint and 50% of Mod Podge. And the Mod Podge is the glue that will allow our faux nuts to stick. And don't forget to shake up your Mod Podge so that it is nicely incorporated. And then I'm going to take my popsicle stick and just stir the two together to make sure that they are nicely combined. And now we're ready to add it to our faux apples. And so I'm taking my paintbrush and I am dabbing it onto the apple, and I'm being generous with the paint. It is great if it runs down the side. And the reason why I'm using a pat, pat, pat or a tapping motion is I want to make sure that there are no brush strokes. So I've made my first row, and I'm going to continue and do that same thing along the whole apple. And doesn't that stick come in handy to go ahead and continue to twist and turn that apple and apply the paint all the way to the bottom. Now I'm not putting it all on the very bottom, just to the bottom edge, because the bottom is not going to show. And I'm going to repeat that for all of my apples. And then I'm putting it on a piece of parchment paper so that it won't stick, and allowing it to become a little bit tacky while I go ahead and apply this caramel to my other apples. And now we're ready to apply our faux nuts. I am using pearl couscous. I thought that the size and the irregular shape of it would really mimic nuts. And I'll again put a link to that in the description below. I wanted to do something that I could use the leftovers, and so you can always cook up some delicious couscous with any leftovers that you have. I've poured them in the bowl, so I am ready to apply them to my apples. And my apples have only been sitting for about 5 minutes. And as you can see, I've got a completed one over there on the left. And I'm taking my apples and I'm just dipping them directly into the couscous. And once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and take my fingers and sprinkle on the couscous to any of the places where I still have caramel showing. Oh my gosh, I think they look so good. They look so real. What do you think? Let me know. And now let's go about styling them and seeing how you can use them in your home decor. For this first option, I have incorporated the bare apples, and I've put them on a pedestal, and I'm adding a glass cloche over the top. This is part of such a sweet tray that I've got on my kitchen counter that says thankful, and I made that tray out of Goodwill bin spines, and I'll link that video at the end in case you're interested. And as we take a closer look, there is my thankful sign. That was a bright orange Dollar Tree sign that I have now recycled by painting and using antiquing glaze on it. And I love that stack of books and that rustic pumpkin. And now for a second option, I wrapped them with cellophane that I got from the Dollar Tree and some fall colored ribbons, and I'm putting them on a tray with a fall magazine and a pumpkin candle from Hobby Lobby and a little pumpkin as part of a tray set up in my guest bedroom. So if you love to add warm touches of love throughout your home and you want to do it on a budget, then this is the channel for you. I love doing that too. So I hope you'll consider subscribing, and I really appreciate you tuning in today. Bye-bye.